whothatdaily.com, your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top-flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who Dat to the Black and Gold Nation. We in this thing, man. Sports Coma. How you do? Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. Like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. I'm in the building. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. I appreciate you guys for being in the live stream. Much love to you and Yearns on this Monday, man. So much love to the fam. Hope y'all having a pretty good start of your week. Pretty cold, but nonetheless, we're going to get through this thing. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all all being in the live stream. Been a few days. Took a couple of days off, fam. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, for being up in this thing. So we're going to cover a few news, notes, and items on today's show, fam. So like I've been saying for some time now, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. Much love to the fam. So big ups to the fam. Who that to all y'all? Big ups to you. Let's see who else we got in the chat here. Give a few shout outs to the rest of the Who Dat Nation. Brother Jerry Paul Jr., who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? Ant-Man, who that to you? Bobby, Space Host. Yo, who that to you, fam? Appreciate you as well. Be Kind is in the building. Who that to you? What's up, Carla Queen? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. Who that Dana? What's up, fam? Who that to you, Queen? Much love to you as well. Big ups to the fam. Vaughn, who that to you, fam? Jasper's in the building. Who that to you as well? Who that to all the family members? Appreciate y'all. Young City, 9th Ward, Mask Up Podcast, Slim South 504. Brother DeWine's in the building as well, and the rest of the fam. Much love to all y'all. Josh Goat 23, big ups to you. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Thank you, Hoodie, for your super chat, fam. You say, what up, Q? Like you always say, welcome. welcome, welcome, welcome. By the way, FLE. I know. We're going to get into it today. Thank you for your super chat, man. Appreciate you, bro. Rush Hour, who that to you, fam? Tech Saint, I see you, fam. Who that to you as well? Big ups to the rest of the fam. Brother Dave Kemp, what's up, Dave? Who that to you, fam? And all the family members, I appreciate you joining me on this Monday episode. And we got quite a lot to talk about in this episode, man. We're going to go over quite a few stories, at least about 4, and I'm going to just try to get through them. Throw a little commentary, a little comedy in that thing. But this one's entitled TSC Coach Payton Not Committed to Returning to New Orleans, ? And that's all you've been hearing over the last several days is a constant spew about Coach Payton not coming back to the head coach the New Orleans Saints into the future, which is, I'll give my thoughts on that momentarily. Also, we'll cover some items of news of interest. We'll talk about Eli Apple as well, his commentary The Saints had a few signings to go along with what they've been doing, and we'll talk about an ESPN article that I think did a pretty good job talking about the referees. So with that being said, hit the like button, family. If you hadn't hit that some gun already, hit the like button. And please feel free to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and feel free to share the show's links on your social media feed with other great Saint family members. So much love to the fam. Pelicans Noel, I see you, fam. Who that to you? What's up, Vinicio? Much love to you, fam. Appreciate you. Who that to y'all? Mr. Nicky Phillips, who that to you, fam? Who that Saint Bernard Hardhead living in Dallas? There you go. Thank you, brother Nicky. Much love to you, Brandon Davis. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, fam? Who that to you? Says Q, I got that Bronco orange on. Something you trying to tell us, Q? Nah, this is actually this is a red shirt, but no, bro. Not at all, brother. Not at all. Down, just black and gold in the soul, brother. So, much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. So here we go, fam. We're going to cover some items of news, man. We're going to get right on into this thing. And we're going to start off with this one here. And this one coming straight from Ian Rappaport, the NFL Network insider, that started this whole rigmarole a few days. Well, actually yesterday, when he dropped the Saints head coach has not committed to returning to the New Orleans for the 2022 NFL season. Now, family, y'all know that I'm a critical thinker. Y'all know that. So what's up, my ninja? Who that to you? Troy. What's up, brother Troy? Who that to you as well? And listen, fam. If you can't, and listen, and it's documented, and I've made it, and I talked about this ad nauseum, that the national media very rarely gives us good commentary when we do something right. When we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice this year, when we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice this year, when Jameis went down with his injury, we had a third-string quarterback came in there and beat Tom Brady. They gave us no comeuppance for that. When we turned around the second matchup and beat and held Tom Brady out, first time since 2006, no accolades for that. More of the same. No positive coverage of the black and gold. That's why the Sports Coma is here. The Sports Coma was born out of negative Saints press. We got tired of hearing the narratives that they like to picture. So we give an opportunity to respond to your bullshit narratives, part my Polynesian. Now, the Saints head coach, they're saying Saints head coach Sean Payton. Now, before I bust up Ian Rappaport, I'm just going to go over his article. Saints head coach Sean Payton is not committed to returning to the New Orleans Saints for 2022 NFL season. This is Rappaport, the insider, who actually do pretty credible work at times. But this one here, we're going to go over it. The New Orleans Saints season has been over for 2 weeks. And as the days have gone by, one question has remained open. Is head coach Sean Payton coming back? Now, let me just go ahead on and read the rest of it before I start getting into it. Sources say that Payton, who has 3 years left on his contract, remember, this is a big sticking point that I'm going to make later on, has not committed to returning to coach for another season in New Orleans. He has not yet informed the organization for whom he's coached since 2006 that he will definitely return. Multiple attempts by NFL, which is them, Rappaport and them, to reach out to Payton went unreturned. Why? Because Coach Payton has documented that he turned his damn phone off. He got this new woman there, he married, and he don't want to hear all that stuff, but I'm gonna save my stuff. Payton has been on vacation for more than a week, and a person turning off their phone while on vacation is not unprecedented. Payton using the time to decide if he wants to return or step away for the year is noteworthy. Where did that come from? I'm gonna keep running. Now, however, he has gone dark on several people close to him. Okay, that's not a big whip. It would be highly unlikely for Payton to coach another team in 2022. Sources say, same sources now. Rather, this would be a mini retirement to recharge for a year after several people close to him decided as incredibly challenging and difficult. Now, where did this come from? A mini retirement? In this scenario, Payton era will likely be over in New Orleans. If he were to return and coaching as expected, it would be with another organization, sources say. Same sources. The sources all over the place. Payton era will likely be over in New Orleans. If he were to return to coaching, it is expected he would be with another organization. It's expected he would be with sources say, another sources. Such a move would not be without precedent. They throw Bruce Arians in there. Saints coordinator Allen, who has head coach interviews scheduled with the Bears, would be a top candidate to take over, sources say. but New Orleans would have to conduct a complete search. Got this just going all through it now. One of the highest paid coaches in the NFL, Coach Payton, is under contract through, remember this, another sticking point, the 2024 season, and him walking away with at least $45 million is hard to fathom, but it has not been ruled out. Sources say, once again, unnamed sources, prior to the end of the 2021 season, sources say, and other sources say that Payton was approached by at least one TV network about working in media, and it appears to be a possibility as well. Sources say New Orleans has battled through endless injuries this season while using 4 QBs. It was trying and extremely taxing for Payton, according to those close to him. Yes, it was. That necessitated some time away to consider the move, which he currently is under. Several people close to Payton have said that they simply don't know if he's returning, with others mentioning they heard the he could walk away rumors like the public. Meanwhile, the Saints are in a holding pattern, but the reality is simple. No one knows what he will do. Now, all this is based upon a tweet from Eli Apple. Now, number one, let's get into it. Now, the thing is this, okay? Coach Payton turned off his phone. He with his new woman now. He got married. And this was an extremely difficult season for Coach Payton. Ain't no doubt about it, fam. Absolutely. This was a straight up tough year for the coach. You know, one of his toughest. And think about it like this. Drew Brees meant a lot to Coach Payton. When he was here, he took a lot of the offensive headache off of Coach Payton, because some would argue that Drew knew the offense almost as well as Coach Payton did. He knew he mastered Coach Payton's offense. So he took a lot of that pressure off of Coach Payton, where he just entrusted in Drew because Drew knows what to do, you know, in Coach Payton's mind. So quite naturally, when your first ballot franchise Hall of Fame quarterback retires, there's going to be a transition period from that guy who'd been with the team for years to the next guy, which was Jameis Winston, who was hurt. Now, it's true. Coach Payton did deal with 4 QB changes due to injuries, C-19, and then there was also other things that were occurring as well. Now, you had the offensive line injuries, Teron Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk, Andrus Peat, even McCoy left the lineup, to the tune of 50-plus offensive line changes. 50-plus, I think the number exactly is 53 changes, or 54, 53, I think it's 53. I'm going off of my recollection. So think about it like that. All of the movement on the offensive line, that's a lot of movement. And then the C-19 thing played a part of it. Them having 20-plus players coming in up off the bench they had to put into the game. Well, I say all that to say that Coach Payton had to bring in a new quarterback. Well, not a new quarterback, but a guy to take over the system as a starting quarterback, which has been over a decade, well over a decade since that had to happen. Well, you just had a few guys that come in like Teddy Bridgewater or Jameis Winston to fill in duty while Drew was hurt. And then even Taysom filled in duty this past year as Jameis went down with injury. But this was a very difficult year for Coach Payton, no doubt about it. You could tell. So and that's understandable. I get that. But speaking to somebody, you know, when you're a busy person and you take an opportunity to take a break, that's not no news there. I'm sorry, that's not. And I preface that by saying there's several other articles that I can show that I will not show that I can tell you about because you're all aware of it. The situation of the articles that circle around in the Chicago Bears talking about Coach Payton. Remember that article? And also the Dallas Cowboys article about them waiting in a holding pattern because they'll fire whoever the head coach is, McCarthy, if Coach Payton is available. All that's circulating around the same news cycle. You read the article like I just read. He names these sources. And listen, I done did some serious research, man. And Coach Payton, listen, let's lay out the groundwork of what kind of fertile ground you got. Coach Payton's taking a break. This is his team. This is his region. The city of New Orleans and the entire region, this is the best place for Coach Payton to be. He loves the city. He loves this team. He loves Miss Benson. Miss Benson is not a Jerry Jones owner. Coach Payton has total immunity. He's probably, in my estimation, he's the most powerful member of the Saints organization that's not the owner. That's not named Gail. That's Southern Bell. She don't get in his way. And whatever Mickey Loomis, which is like Coach Payton's boy, gives him whatever he wants. Mickey Loomis is not one of them dudes that's over your shoulder forcing you to do something. Coach Payton move and operate the way he wants to move. And to a degree, Coach Payton got the media under wrap too. You go to other places, whether New York or other places, there's bulldog press. There's bulldog press tearing the coach's ass up. Coach Payton don't have that here. These guys, he got these guys all wrangled in, and no disrespect to him, but he got them pretty much domesticated. Nobody don't challenge Payton with tough questions. They really don't. And I'm just keeping it real. I know they listen to the stream, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm telling y'all off top, y'all need to ask harder questions. But anyway, they don't do that. Thank you, Rush Hour. He says Payton not going anywhere because he won't have creative control. And thank you for that. So thank you for your super chat. And I agree. Coach Payton has this whole situation set that he's been here since 2006. Coach Payton has this set up the way he wants to. He got the players that he wants and he loves. Coach Payton, this is the type of news article that they writing to try to throw salt on the team. And I'm going to read another article from ESPN that asks Gail Benson what's going on with Coach Payton. And Gail says, she should just told the truth. She says, hey, you asking me questions, such and such, such and such. Now, listen, that's one aspect. Another veneer under that is the fact that Coach Payton is still under contract from 2024. Coach Payton's never been a coach to break or bust up his contracts. He never been that guy. Why are you asking him for a commitment to return? Well, number one, and it's not the Saints that are asking him for a commitment to return. It's these blasted reporters from NFL.com. And they saying that we couldn't reach Coach Payton. It's in the verbiage of their articles and their pieces that they're writing, is that you couldn't reach him. So for comment on whether or not you're gonna return, he's locked to 2024. He gave you no indication that he was going anywhere. He never mentioned or said anything to anybody about leaving the city of New Orleans. He never said anything. He didn't, and that's what I'm saying about this stuff about he could and he would. This is total rumorville and absolute BS reporting for them to cook up a story against the New Orleans Saints. Absolutely. He's still under contract to 2024. That'll be valid if he was not under contract, or if, he was a free agent coach going. Coach Payton got multiple years left on this deal. He had a tough season, just like a lot of coaches did, but Coach Payton in particular trying to transition past the Drew Brees years into the Jameis Winston era. And we had some rockiness going on, and he got beat up pretty good. And remember, Coach Payton came up off that committee too. And I'm saying that, looking at his behavior, I was like, man, Coach Payton's eyes is open to how they handle New Orleans. He fussing and arguing. He got up off that competition committee, how they judging these games with these, I don't even call them real referees. These referees for the NFL, they're not referees. They're not real referees. They are an absolute travesty and they need all of them need to be kicked in their ass, because these referees in the NFL are absolutely WWE ass referees. I'm sorry. You know how the WWE referees, they in there and then the guy absolutely hit him and knocks him out and he laid there asleep. And then the other guy beating up on the other guy illegally, rubbing his face against the mats, to my wrestling people. Taking the fighter's head and rubbing his forehead across the ropes and doing illegal maneuvers while the bullshit WWE referees on the ground knocked out, and then he slowly gets up just in enough time to count out after the guy knocked him out illegally, or he went up under the mat and grabbed the bell and hit the guy upside the head. He laid out there. He gets up just in the nick of the time to count. Didn't see none of that, but just hit the mat 3 times to count out the honest guy, and give the victory to the guy that cheated. Let me tell you, these guys, them WWE ass referees. But listen, this is BS reporting by Ian, and I like Ian Rappaport, but man, you trying to cook up something, bro. You trying to cook up something, and we ain't eating it. We ain't eating that bull crap that you cooking up. We know Coach Payton is not going anywhere. This is absolute fluff and BS. Coach Payton is not going anywhere. Coach Payton is still under contract. Coach Payton loves the city. He loves the team. He loves the organization. Coach Payton is not going anywhere. Stop it with this BS. Trying to tear our team up to help the Bears or the Cowboys who having issues. We good right here. Stop trying to take our people. It's the same coverage that you get if you're a New Orleans Pelicans person. And we got people that might not be Pelican people, but let me tell you, I do a show, it's called the Pelican Post-Game Report for those don't know, and it's the same stuff. It's always cooking up these fanciful articles that are not based in reality. They're not based in reality. He names several times in the article sources, unnamed sources. I don't give a damn about your unnamed sources. Put whoever's saying it on there. You could say it, but he ain't going to do that because it's based in Rumorville. This is absolute BS. It's absolute BS. It is BS. And I'm sitting up here looking at it. I said, man, this is ridiculous. You call him and ask him, are you coming back? Are you coming back? Why would he not come back? He didn't give any indication, family. Not on his social media, he hadn't give any indication about such a thing. Hold on, I got something going here. No indications about none of that stuff. Nothing. Coach Payton loves the team. He loves the city. He loves Gail. He loves Mickey Loomis and Kai Hartley. Whatever Coach Payton wants, those guys go out and get it for him. He has a supreme spot here. Coach Payton can sit up here and coach for the next 10 years here in the city. The family members love him, and they got some people who will go against logic, period, and just ride when, like Suede, my dog Suede, ride with him regardless or not. Me, I'm critical thinking. I'm going to ask some goddamn questions. But at the end of the day, Coach Payton's not going nowhere, man. That's our dude. That's our guy. Stop the BS. It's just so unfair, man. It's so unfair how these press people like to do this. Anyway, let's read this article from ESPN because they get that Southern Belle Gail involved in this one, which is absolutely unfathomable. The Saints owner Gail Benson on Sean Payton's future. I don't think any of us know, but he'll let us know soon. Now, first of all, Coach Payton is still under contract. He's still under contract. Why would somebody, and it's not like it's an option deal, he's under contract. And it's not like he's saying, listen, I ain't under contract no more. I'm up out of here. No. Now here it is right here. Gail Benson acknowledged Monday that his status remains uncertain for the reporters asked her the question and she just told it. She answered it to the best of her ability. I don't think any of us know, but he'll let us know soon enough. And the report is Sunday that Payton has not committed to returning to coach the Saints in 2022. The man is on vacation after a long season. He's under contract to 2024. Why would he have to tell you that he's coming back? It's just ridiculous. What proof do you have that he said that he doesn't want to be here? There is nothing. They're not giving any evidence or any proof of anything. It is all based in fantasy land, in Rumorville. There is nothing there. I've read all these people articles. There is nothing but unnamed sources, which I don't count on that shit. Sources confirmed that, once again, here go these sources confirmed that he has made no definite declaration. Though he was expected to return to work this week along with the rest of the Saints coach, he's still on vacation. Payton 50 is under contract through 2024, which means a trade would have to be worked out for him to coach another team. How are we getting from there to here? Multiple outlets, including ESPN, have reported that television networks have shown they've been showing considerable interest in Coach Payton when Coach Payton would do spot job work during the postseason. The last such time he did it is when we did it several seasons ago after we got beat by the Minnesota Vikings in the Superdome. Coach Payton went the next week and flew out to San Francisco to be a commentator on the San Francisco versus, the Green Bay Packers matchup? No, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Packers, I think it was. What was it, the Packers? Y'all let me know. I think it was the 49ers. No, it was the Minnesota Vikings and the 49ers. He was a spot commentator on there, on that show, and he was telling people how the 49ers should beat the Minnesota Vikings, in which he lost to. And he was saying you got to run the ball and all the stuff. I could not find that interview. They scrubbed that shit off of the web. I was looking for that to play it on this show to show you what Coach Payton was saying in reference to how you beat that team. And it was everything that he didn't do in that matchup. But anyway, that's a different subject. But he's done spot work for media operations before. Now, Benson, who was speaking at Mardi Gras related event, responded to a question. See, she responded she was just being honest. We don't know. You know, who knows? We'll find out soon, I guess. So Gail Benson, let me tell you something about Gail, man. Gail is a hands-off coach. She leaves it all in the hands of guys like Dennis Lucia and Mickey Loomis and Kai Hartley and the people that know the business. That's how she does. As long as, and then the accountant come in there and show her the bottom line and there's a dollar sign and she good with that. But she is the epitome of the antithesis or the definitive meaning of what it means to be hands off. She knows her limitations. She knows when it ain't looking good, and she knows when to jump in. That's what she did with that Anthony Davis situation when he walked out of the stadium. She jumped right in on that and fired Dale Demps right away on that. So she know when to move in, and I've seen her move in, but she don't move into things are dire. She trusts those guys to operate, maybe to a fault, but that's her style. The organization doesn't appear to be pressing Payton for immediate commitment, allowing him time to decompress after a grueling year. Of course, man. Yes, he's under contract to 2024. There is no reason to believe, because he didn't say anything. He didn't hint at anything. It was a rough year for Coach Payton. They finished 9-8, missed the playoffs, but it was hard on him. We know that. He said it several times. This is a tough year. This is tough, all throughout the season. You know, it's tough. It's tough going through the C-19 stuff, but we got to keep doing it. You know, injuries is happening to us. It's tough, but we got to keep going. He references the tough terminology all the time throughout the season. So yes, it was a tough year. It was. Saints missed the playoff for the first time in 5 years, 9-8 record. We all know this. Drew Brees' retirement, the cap issues, major injuries, salary cap cuts, hurricane evacuation, all that kind of stuff. Yes, hurricanes involved as well. Very tough year on Coach Payton. And we said this, and this is what they're quoting from a previous situation. The stretch has been, I don't want to say exhausting, but it's one of those where you just look on the next test, nothing surprises you, as he said. When you go all the way back to the start of the season, it feels like 2.5 years ago we were evacuating Dallas after the hurricane. I mean, it doesnent feel like, and this is a former quote for Coach Payton, where he was talking about this stuff, and he goes in intricate about different term and different, I guess, what's the word I'm searching for? The situations that occurred in Coach Payton's name, situations that occurred throughout the year. He's just merely documenting them. He's just merely verbalizing them. But they're saying if Payton moves on, the Saints will likely consider defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. How we jump from that to this when Coach Payton never said anything about it? It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just stupid. Payton is tied for 21st in NFL history with 152 victories, according to Pro Football References. Career record is 152-89 with a 63% winning percentage, not including his season-long suspension in 2012 because of the league's bounty investigation, which they should mention was overturned. Payton is 9-8 in the postseason, including the only Super Bowl victory in the franchise back in 2020. And then they go into talk about Payton has made his mark as one of the league's all-time great offensive minds. According to the Sports Bureau, Payton and Saints ranked first in NFL history in both points scored, 27.6 per game, and yards gained at 391.2. Payton's longevity is a rarity in today's NFL. Only Bill Belichick has been with his team longer. Payton has 4 seasons of 11-plus wins in his second decade with the Saints. Only 3 other coaches have done that in Super Bowl era. Belichick has 9, Tom Landry has 8, and Don Shula has 6, all Hall of Famers. So once again, and of course, the big part of the game when you talk about stuff like, you know, when you talk about longevity, and they mentioned Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has it set up in New England. He acts as the general manager. He builds the team the way he wants to. He got the media on wrap. He does whatever he wants to do. He don't have an owner that's on his back beating him down. And that is why you have long tenured coaches like that, because a lot of times the owners get in the way of what the coaches is trying to do. The general manager might be a guy that wants credit for the moves that are making. We don't have that problem here. Mickey Loomis is not an egotistical guy. Mickey Loomis likes to play it to the back. He defers to Payton. That's why y'all know my little line always thread Mickey when talk to Sean. Remember that? Because I kid Mickey Loomis on that, because that's one of his favorite lines, because he always refers to Coach Payton or references, you got any questions, go to Coach Payton. He'll answer some of your questions, but he'll go back to Coach Payton and reference, if you got questions, go to Coach Payton. He doesn't have an ego. He doesn't want credit for nothing. Mickey Loomis has it set up. And listen, there is no sweeter deal that you can have here than what Coach Payton has. So if we talking about Coach Payton just going out there and he turning his damn cell phone off to get a break, chill out with this, man. It's not like he's a free agent where he doesn't have a contract. I mean, this is and if he had said, listen, fam, if he had said, man, I don't want to be in New Orleans, then you got a story. But that never was said. They're simply going off the fact that they couldn't get a hold of him to ask him about what's going on. Are you coming back? Now, why would you even ask him if he's coming back or not? Why would you even have that line of questioning when you know he under contract? That's my thing. Well, are you coming back for another year, Coach Payton? No, bro. Look, cut that out with this BS, bro. That Ian Rappaport, that's a bullshit story, bro. You know it. You're trying to cook up something, and then they have all these little flim-flam stories built around the Bears trying to get at Coach Payton. It's ridiculous. You got the Bears trying to go at Coach Payton. You got Dallas trying to go at Coach Payton, and the goddamn press trying to offer him a job, talk about the games. Then not to mention he's a top 5 or top 3 paid coach. He's getting paid, broke off. Man, Coach Payton got this whole situation. Coach Payton has basically football utopia land with the New Orleans Saints. Everybody, they all look at the media is submissive. He got them where he wants, so they ain't causing him. They might annoy him with questions every now and again. He just like, whatever, next question. You know how you do. And then general manager gets Coach Payton whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Y'all know it. You got Gail. Gail is not over his shoulder. He operates with total immunity. He does whatever he wants to do. And the only reason why Coach Payton would want to go somewhere else is if he would want to be the general manager, but he never displayed that. He never displayed or talked about the fact that he ever wanted to be a freaking GM. And why would you want to do that when you got Mickey Loomis right there doing whatever you want, whenever you want? Come on, man. And Mickey is good at what he does, and Kyle Hartley, the rest of those guys are good at what they do. Why would you leave that to go over there to Chicago? Huh? Talk to me. Why would you do that to go to Dallas with Jerry Jones? Are you kidding me? You're going to leave New Orleans. This is how stupid this is. You're going to leave New Orleans to go and coach for Jerry Jones, who's a dude that who can't get out of his own way. If he'd have had more Super Bowls, if he would have stayed out of the way of when Jimmy Johnson was there. And that was the big beef with him and Bill Parcells when he was Sean Payton's mentor when he was down there. So it is absolutely ridiculous, fam, that they doing this kind of crap. And notice, like I said, it's 3 stories trying to get at your coach. They saying the Bears want him, the Cowboys interested in Coach Payton, and the press to give him a job. Come on, man. All in the same reference of time, which lets you know this is orchestrated, man. There is no evidence of this at all. Coach Payton didn't say none of this crap. That is, and why are you asking him about that when he got 2 years left on this agreement? We got him to 2024. Why are you asking him, are you coming back again? No, man, cut this out, man. It don't make any sense. It's some BS to try to mess with the Who Dat Nation, man. Listen, don't pay nothing to this, man. Unless Coach Payton comes out and says that I don't want to be here and I'm going to retire or whatever, then that's a whole nother thing because people retire. But my point is that man did not say a damn thing about that. They going off the fact that they can't reach him because he turned his phone off because he out there chilling with his people and his new wife, and he having fun and he relaxing and chilling. And we can't get close to him. Oh, that mean he don't want to come back to the no. That mean he don't want to talk to your ass. It's crazy. I'm telling y'all, fam. The press, I'm telling you, they getting worse and worse and worse. And not just with sports topics, but a lot of other stuff that is very serious in this world. They're getting worse and worse and worse and reporting these we're just coming up with fanciful articles. There's thousands of shit that you can write about, but you're going to create a story out of nowhere and use unnamed sources as a reference point? Man, cut this shit out, man. We got too much good sense to tell the difference between what you're talking about, man. Come on. We ain't gonna believe that crap. Don't buy into that until Coach Payton says that this is, I don't want to be in New Orleans. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous that they're doing this. Anyway, let's go on to the next thing, fam. Let's jump to the next thing. Let's get on this, dude. My goodness. Former Saints defensive back Eli Apple, Rotten Apple, now with the Bengals, bashes Saints family and quote, dirtiest, quote, unquote, New Orleans. This is from Pat McGee, the staff writer at NOLA.com. Plenty of New Orleans Saints family members, I don't use fans because I don't like that terminology. It implies that you are a fanatic and you need to research what fanatic means. I do not apply that. In Louisiana, have been cheering on the Bengals on their way to the AFC Championship game. And why the hell not, man? They just stole all your nickname. They got all your LSU people up there. Why the hell not? Why we can't chill on the Cincinnati Bengals? They done stole your song. Who they said they're gonna beat them Bengals? They done stole all you. They done stole the Caden. They could have come up with something different. Who they said they're gonna beat? Something different. Don't use the same cadence. They stole your term. They stole it. You know, the term. And people so sick in their head, they thinking that the Cincinnati Bengals came up with who they. No, bro. We had it. Them people they started using that in the mid to late 80s. The Saints had that in the 70s, man. Cut that. But it's clear they got Joe Burrow. They got Jamar Chase. These are all LSU guys, our guys up there in Cincinnati making them win. So why not? They got Trey Hendrickson, former Saint, up there. They just came out here and shopped at LSU and in the Saints store and they didn't get them together. So why not cheer for them, right? But it's clear there's no return on the love for Bengals cornerback Eli Apple. Apple played for the Saints during the 2018-2019 season. After he was acquired through a trade with the Giants in October of 2018 campaign, he spent 2020 season with the Panthers before landing with the Bengals. It wasn't very long. They got rid of him real quick. Saints family members have mostly been supporting the Bengals on their playoff run with LSU legend Joe Burrow leading the way at quarterback and another former LSU star, Jamar Chase, playing a big part of their success at receiver. Apple was generally regarded as a solid member of the Saints secondary during his time on the team, but he apparently didn't think much of the team's fans or the South Louisiana family members in the South Louisiana community. Quote, I don't know which family base I hate more, probably the Saints, but it's close with the Giants. It's a toss-up, Apple said in a tweet Sunday night. Just prior to the tweet, he retweeted a clip of a member of the Buffalo Bills putting a hit on a family member who charged onto the field during the member of Sunday's wild card. That's just a fan right there. I'm going to just say that's definitely a fan. During the middle of Sunday's wild Bills Chiefs game. This is what I want to do to the team, them Ravens, Saints, and Giants people, Apple said in the tweet. So, and then he shows the tweet here. And this is what hold on, let me get this up here. And when it loads, I'm going to show you. It says, Apple instantly caught heat from the Saints family members and at least one current member of the team, but that didn't discourage the New Jersey native from continuing to bash New Orleans and its culture. And this is what he said that he wants to do to you. As you Stephon Diggs come out and knock the piss out the man, right? So he just comes, that's what he want to do to you. That's what he pretty much saying, what he wants to do to you. And he goes on to say, and listen to this, New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food. It's that swine and crawfish that's killing y'all brains, Apple said in his most recent swipe at New Orleans. Hey, partner, let me say, where you from again? You from New Jersey? Dude, let me tell you something. We got people that's from New Jersey that listen to the show and family members up in New Jersey. Let me tell you something, fam. That's a pretty dirty city too, man. Cut that out. You gonna see that's the worst food. Now you know that's a bunch of bullshit. The worst food, it's swine and crawfish that's killing. So it's swine, and he got a picture of Malcolm here. I don't know if Eli Apple's supposed to be a brother from the nation or whatever, but he used the terminology swine, and that's famous from the NOI. That's one of the terms because they drop science on where it comes from. And crawfish that's killing y'all brains, which person taking a swipe at New Orleans. He says New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food ever. It's swine and crawfish that's killing y'all brains. But when that son bitch was down here, he was eating up all the food. He was smiling in your face. But see, these are the type of people that backstab and trash. You can't, it don't make no sense for him to even much do this. And you know what? Let me tell you what's killing your brain, partner, them concussions. Because and it must be either the concussions or the steroids that's taking you apart, because there's no need for you to even mention New Orleans. You got paid down here. We gave you an opportunity when nobody gave you an opportunity. It was because the city came down. And don't blame your ineffectiveness to stay on with the team and your dumb ass to pick up the terminology of what the coordinator was given to disrespect the people in the city. It got the nastiest food, fam. We're not known to have nasty food. People come worldwide down here to eat food and enjoy themselves in this city. Now they got certain areas of the city that do need to be cleaned up, but come on, cut that out. A lot of the areas of the city are clean areas as well. Now you want to talk about the streets? If he would have said something about the streets, that'd have been a whole nother thing. They got some of the worst streets in the nation. I'd say, you know what, bro, you might have a point on that. But the disrespect, you see, he taking shots at the food. We know that's one of the cultures, one of the things that the city is known for: the culture, the food, blase, blase, blase. Never one shy away from conflict. Saints defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson bounced back at the Ohio State product over his New Orleans slander. Boy, watch your mouth. You a pillow for real. Called him soft. Eli Apple responds, I don't know which fan base I hate more, probably the Saints. But he responded, and I don't think he retweeted. But anyway, Eli Apple was trash. You know, he could never catch on here. He was stupid. He was back ass. He did a lot of really ridiculous things, and he couldn't make it here. And listen, I don't know why you taking shots at the city. It really don't make no sense, Mr. Apple, to piss off a whole city full of people and a region and a whole family base, piss them all by making fun and talking about their food and talking about their city like that. You get your ass kicked like that. So it's just unfathomable. It's got this. So you listen, don't be too mad at Eli Apple. Let me just put it to you like that. Don't be too mad at Eli Apple about this, family. I know a lot of people upset about Eli Apple, but what you think about somebody that took too many shots to the head? What you think he gonna say? The man is not here, man. I mean, bro, it happens, bro. When you take too many shots to the head and you get rattled up, some people get it early, some people get it late. Some people, not at all, not as hard as the rest of them. But the reality is the man is shaking up in the head, man. But it makes no sense. You're a Cincinnati Bengal guy right now. You're in the playoffs. You're in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City. You should not be even worrying about the Saints. And I think Eli Apple, where is he from? New Jersey somewhere? Where is Apple from? Where is he from? Where is he from? Is he from New Jersey? I want to say that's where he's from, up there somewhere. But but if I want to say it, y'all put in the chat, where this guy from, man? Yeah, he a New Jersey native. So not only did he talk mess about the city of New Orleans, but he also talked about the Giants. He talked about the Giants. So the Giants got a dirty city too? New York is a dirty ass city? And you come from New Jersey, partner, that's just right across the way. Your city ain't dirty? Dog, let me tell you something. I've been to New Jersey before. No disrespect for the New Jersey people, but y'all know they got clean. Thank you, Lane. Much love to Lane Ward for subscribing. Thank you. Eli Apple, man, is tripping, bro. Big time. And it's too many shots to the dome, bro. Obviously, bro. Because you disrespect the Giants family base and you disrespect the city of New Orleans. You put up a Twitter clip of Stephon Diggs tackling a runner on the field and say this is what he wants to do to you guys, and then goes in and talk about the food being bad. Dude, I done ate all across this country. Let me tell you something. New Jersey got good food up there, and people are exclusively in the culture. They're known to have good stuff. Philadelphia got good food. You know what to eat. You go to Baltimore, they got, a culture and food. It's the same everywhere. It's the same in New Orleans, and people realize this. So I wouldn't be that much upset with him, because this is coming from a place of childishness and craziness. The man is not all there, fam. I wouldn't get what they say, don't get upset about dude that's a couple of cans short of a six-pack, so to speak. I'm not mad at Eli Apple, man. Eli Apple does not matter. He really don't. In the grand scheme of things, he'll be cut by the end of this year and probably won't catch on with another team. We gave Eli Apple a chance when very few. We traded for Eli Apple, brung him here, gave him opportunity. Don't be mad at the city because you wasn't good enough to cut it here. And the only reason why you talking like that is because you still wanted to be here. And there are many people that go through that. They talk like that because they want to be here. Well, Eli Apple was not good enough to make it here. And he is having mental issues. He has mental issues. He does, because how you say all the food is nasty, the crawfish is nasty, it's all that swine that got your mind, but you popping. I know you taking steroids, nigga. I know you. I know you taking steroids. I can tell you that much. I can promise you that. Steroids ain't got your mind going crazy. Huh? Steroids ain't got your mind going crazy. Them hits to your head ain't got your, like I said, fam, don't even worry about that. Let that rock, fam. Don't even worry about that dude. That dude is out of his mind, man. Like I said. All right, let's get to the final article right here. Boy, they got some spicy chumps up and we'll run at the black and gold, bro. I tell you, New Orleans Saints running back Josh Adams and wide receiver. They signed running back Josh Adams and wide receiver Kirk Merritt to reserve future contracts. Two offensive players to receive future contracts back with the team. New Orleans Saints VP and general manager Mickey Loomis announced Monday, January 24th, that the club has signed running back Josh Adams, who we've had on the squad before, and wide receiver Kirk Merritt. Adams, who's the 6'2", 225-pounder, was originally signed by the Eagles following his 2018 NFL draft out of Notre Dame. He appeared in 26 games with 5 starts for the Eagles and the Jets, and carrying 157 times for 680 yards. He averaged 4.3 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns, adding 13 catches for 87 yards. Adams enjoyed the most productive season as a rookie in 2018 when he led the Eagles in rushing, playing in 14 games, 5 starts, and carrying 120 times for 511 and 5 touchdowns. After spending the first month with the Saints and with the Jets, Adams spent most of the last 2 months of the campaign for the Saints practice squad. He was with the Jets, then the Saints on the practice squad. Merritt, the wide receiver, 6'1", 214, prepped at Destrehan. We got a local guy back where he played running back, receiver, and also ran track, finishing as a runner-up in 100 and 200 meters in the state championship. We got a speedster. He played his final 2 college seasons at Arkansas State, where he played in all 26 games, 24 starts, recorded 153 receptions in 26 games, for 18-11, he averaged 12 yards per catch, 19 touchdowns, 26 kickoff returns for 654 with a 25.2 average, and 1 touchdown. He signed with the Dolphins in 2020 following the NFL draft and spent the bulk of the last 2 seasons on the practice squad, appearing in 3 regular season games and posting a 13-yard reception. In 2021's preseason, Merritt posted 6 receptions for 106 yards, almost 18 yards in catch, with a club best 2 touchdowns. So Merritt sound like something I'm going to have to do a little research on him, look at some film and tape on Mr. Merritt. But this is the Saints picking up 2 players. Josh Adams, a running back, Josh Adams, who's on the practice squad this past season, and they had wide receiver from Destrehan, he's a Destrehan, and local guy, Kirk Merritt, to reserve future contracts as the team keeps mounting up and getting young players. They also brought J.J. McCleskey's son back to the fold on future contracts as well. Final story. Let's get into it as we talk about this one. No calls hunt the New Orleans Saints. Numbers suggest it's worse than 1 playoff call. Now, what have we been telling people for years? Y'all Saints people just tripping. The NFL is not, the referees are not out to get you. This is a good article written by Triplet, who's been down here, and I'm glad to hear the Triplet actually wrote this to document this. And I don't know if y'all heard this or not, family. Put 1 in the chat if y'all read this article. But this is very insightful. Let's get into it. Metairie, Louisiana, on January 20, 2019, the New Orleans Saints fell victim to perhaps the most infamous no call. Yeah, it is definitely the most infamous in NFL history when officials miss a blatant pass. And no, they ain't miss it. They just simply didn't call it purposefully. That's it. They blatantly not called it. I'm not gonna say missed, because that would imply that they made a mistake. No, they did not make a mistake. They totally decided not to make the call because they wanted the Rams in the Super Bowl, because they was trying to get the push behind them getting that brand new stadium out there. That's what they really wanted. They wanted the Rams there, and looked like this year they could possibly get the Rams in the Super Bowl this year. That was the narrative. But the Saints season was just the beginning of a bizarre trend that has continued to plague the Saints. And you don't think Coach Payton seen this? He got up off that committee and all this, and it's a part of seeing the game, because you can only wear blinders for so long when you're out there hustling and coaching and trying to get the stuff right. You're trying to win, and then people telling you this and they're going in one and out the other. Sooner or later, the truth is going to wake your ass up. In 2018, the Saints finished 30th, 31st, 32nd, and tied for 31st in penalties called against their opponents, both accepted and declined. Let's think about what's said here. In 2018, the Saints finished 30th at the bottom, just bottom of the league, and tied for 31st in penalties called against their opponents. Not for them, but against their opponents. Both accepted and declined. So Think about that for a second. No other team has finished that low in three consecutive years since '01, according to ESPN Stats and Information Research. The Elias Sports Bureau can go further using data on accepted penalties only. According to the Bureau, the last team to finish in the bottom three of opponents' accepted penalties for 4 straight years with the Packers back in 70 to 73, and the Saints officials declined to comment on the trend. But sources have indicated that the team is aware and disturbed by it. Disturbed. Who's aware about it? Who's the person that would really, most people, Mickey Loomis, I'm disturbed. But it's not just Mickey, it's Coach Payton. It corresponds with what I was telling you about him getting off that committee. They got this data. They got this information. And I've been saying this for years about them and the Saints. And the data backs it up. This was a good article that covers that. Meanwhile, a leaked source explained that the NFL officiating staff studies penalty data and trends as a part of their standard process and procedure and often communicates it with clubs about the data, including the Saints in this instant. In theory, opponents' penalties should balance out since the teams and officials change every week. For instance, the Saints tied for last this season. They tied last this season again with the Bucks, who have now finished third, 18th, third, 20. And they just showing you the Saints tied for last this season, and with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have now finished third, 18th, third, 23rd, and third over the past 6 years. However, there are some similar examples in recent history, including the Packers have finished in the bottom 10 of each of the past 5 seasons. The Vikings have finished 20th or worse in each of the past 6 seasons, including 32 and 26 and 29 from the 19 and 21 season. At the opposite end of the spectrum, the Steelers has benefited by finishing 1-8-7-1 over the past 4 years. The Cardinals were the only team to finish among the top 3 in 4 straight seasons since '01, top 4 in 5 straight years when they went 4-3-1-2-1 for the 2013 through 17 season. When asked if there could be an explanation for such trends, longtime former NFL, WWE official, and current ESPN analyst John Perry explained games and teams are officiated one play at a time. Y'all believe that? For example, for an official, each play is its own 6-second universe. To an official, when it plays a lineup, there are only positions with numbers on their backs. We focus on the task, not the team, said Perry, who worked at least one Saints game almost every year as a referee or a side judge from 2000 to 2018. Officials are expected, trained, and evaluated to be consistent, accurate as possible week in and week out. Is that what's being displayed? Is that what you guys are seeing? See, the rhetoric, you can say one thing, but people are not stupid, and that's how they talk to us. That's how they run out these events and think you're just a child, that you won't be able to decipher between the BS and what's real. Look at the nonsense. For an official, each player is his own 6-second universe. That's absolutely ridiculous. To an official, where players line up, they're only positions with numbers on their back. So when you see Tom Brady running out there cussing at the officials, and they finally flagged them in this past game, but what about in all this past year when Tom Brady, let's just not even go into any other games but the Saints matchup, the last game of when we played them, when we beat them 9-0, he was cussing at the officials in the game, cussing at them. They didn't give him no calls on that game, didn't hit him with a flag. He went to and cussed at it. Wasn't Dennis Allen who he told him go F himself. That was the defensive line coach, Ryan Nielsen, he told that to. He walked up to him and said that, and the referees didn't flag him for that. So they're only numbers on their back, so they don't know Tom Brady? Get out of here with that, man. That's what you guys continue, you NFL people continue to lose credibility. And you guys are a flipping joke right now because you continue to run out here with this nonsense like people. You're just insulting people's intelligence. They know shit from sugar, man. You can't talk to them like they children and expect them to swallow this tripe, especially this hot piece of garbage. Officials are expected and trained and evaluated to be as consistent, accurate as possible week in and week out. All I've seen is inconsistency from the officials this year. All of it. They don't know what a catch is. They don't know what a sack is. They don't know what pass interference is. They don't know shit. All they are consistently is inconsistent. They got people confused on what a catch is. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's sad, man. What you can't hit the quarterback. Oh, he pushed the quarterback down. That's a flag. It's just it don't jive. It doesn't appear to be any link between successful and unsuccessful teams when it come down to penalty trends. Are you serious here? We know that is absolute garbage. There is also doesn't appear to be any link between successful and unsuccessful teams when it comes to opponents' penalty trends. So let's just look at it like this. So if your opponent is getting calls in the game to benefit them, case in point, going back to the Saints versus the Tennessee Titans matchup, we're not talking about the Looney Tune missed kicks, but how about the flag that was thrown, the roughing the passer penalty that was called for Ryan Tannehill in the Tennessee Titans game, when I showed video evidence of the referee not making the call until after he observed what went on in the end zone. I showed it here. You want to go look it up for yourselves. Go back and find that show and watch it. I showed that the referee seen Tannehill was on the ground and was on the ground for seconds. He looked at Tannehill get hit and then didn't throw the flag. He looked down to the end zone and waited to see what happened in the end zone. When Marcus Williams picked that ball off, he threw the roughing the passer penalty to steal the ball away from the Saints. Don't talk to me that penalties can't impact games. They constantly stealing touchdowns. What about the call that happened when there was a fumble and Cam picked up the ball and was running and the referee's blown the play dead without having any? Why would you blow the play dead? Just blew it dead to stop the Saints from converting that touchdown. We've been through it all. So it's just ridiculous. Over the past 4 years, the Saints ranked a distant last with 386 total penalties against their opponent. And bear in mind, think about this for a second, that remember, these are not the same coach, this is not the same referee staffs that you're seeing, the same people. Every week is different people, which means if it ain't one or two staffs that's doing this, that means it's a plan. This is systematically driven, which means every one of these referee teams are riding on the same wavelength. They're being instructed to do that because you couldn't put that together in your wildest dreams. That's like busting up that's like busting up a Rolex watch, taking it and putting it in one of those what you call it, I ain't gonna say Heineke bags. What was the old purple bags? You put it in put it in a brown bag and taking a hammer to it and just beating the hell out of it. And then if after it's decimated in pieces, you taking the pieces out and then scattering them on your desk, picking them up, putting them back in the bag, shaking the bag up to try to roll the pieces like they're going to come out the bag as in one assembled watch. No, that's absolutely ridiculous, man. Is that this is systematically driven, which shows if that's the case, then they can corrupt games. We've seen referees impact games in a negative light against the New Orleans Saints. I've seen it and documented it. I talk ad nauseum about how they're manipulated, that the NFL manipulate its games by using its referees. That's why the referees are hardly penalized. They don't lose any money. And the reason why they're starting to penalize them recently, like they did with Jerome Booker, who's a complete dumbass, is because he was so ridiculous in the game that they had to do something about it, because people would say, listen here, look, they don't even do nothing to the people that's screwing it up. So they had to discipline them. But that is far and few in between. Their referees are a joke. They are the same level as WWE referees. And we know how much of a joke they are. Over the same span, the Steelers had the most penalties called against their opponents, followed by the Titans, the Chiefs, all this kind of stuff. Saints coach Payton has been outspoken at times about the changes he would like to see in the NFL's officiating system, starting with making officials full-time employees. He also helped to spearhead the addition, and the reason why Coach Payton wants to make them full-time employees is because, it's just a control mechanism. If you keeping them part-time, you can manipulate them, but even if you make them full-time, you can still manipulate them. But this is coming from a man that don't see the corruption in it. He looking at it like it's just mistake written. He don't see corruption like you see corruption, because they conditioned to. I don't know what kind of psychological programming this man underwent, but I know what I'm looking at. And I don't trust them people like that. So that gives me an opportunity to be critical thinking, to know that the referees, like I just gave you the example, the two examples, the one that happened in the NFC Championship game against the Rams, when the guy runs over Tommy Lee, Jerry Lewis, and nothing happens. That was a clear pass interference. They purposely not called it the game. And then Roger Goodell ran like a chicken with his head cut off all the way until to the Super Bowl, the Saturday before the Super Bowl, and then held a news conference in which he refused to answer questions about replaying the Saints and the Rams debacle. He disappeared for all that time until that game was right before the Super Bowl, and just gave a lame excuse that they couldn't play the game because it would be too expensive. Who making more money than the NFL, man? That bastard commissioner makes $20+ million a year. Seriously? For what? But this is what they did. Now, Payton was a member of the NFL Competition Committee, which helps to recommend rule changes from 2017 to 2021. But he was coy when asked why he stepped down this season. He said it was the right time. He said in November, I'll leave it at that without getting fined. You heard that? Because Coach Payton knew it was some BS. He up in here making these rule changes in the NFL Competition Committee. And then you realize that whatever rules they implement, you got enough rules. That's like people saying pass laws. They got tons of rules and stuff on it. Just enforce what's on the books. We got enough rules. And besides, when you talking NFL and you talking about football, the reality at the end of the day is that what people got to realize with the NFL is that the NFL is following, especially in the playoffs, they're following a narrative. And most people not going to talk about the narrative because they like playing along with it. I don't play along with your goddamn narrative. I'm sorry. We're not going to do that. We're not going to play along with any narratives. We're not going to do that at all. And the only narrative there should be is telling of the truth without any unbiased. But these people don't know such things, man. That's what be pissing me off about this coverage of even the Saints. It's just absolutely appalling. Like this whole story of Coach Payton. There is no evidence, no proof about Coach Payton going any goddamn where. But you're just going to pull it up out of your ass, ain't you? It don't matter whether it's credible or not. Just write a story on it. And it's shameful, man. But a lot of the stuff was born. That's why the Sports Coma was born, because you're talking to a man that's tired of playing with your narratives. You're talking to a man that's tired of hearing what your BS is, and it's going to call you on it. And a lot of the Who Dat family members are joining me on that. They tired of the BS. They tired of the spew and the garbage and the tripe. They tired of the nonsense, the sensical crap that them referees are absolute trash. They sit there, and as a New Orleans black and gold, man, for people that might not understand or know, that their team hadn't got beat up by the referees like our team have been beat up. And look at Coach Payton. Coach Payton said, I got off that committee. I'm just leaving that at that without getting fined. Really? What you going to say that's get you fined, Coach? Huh? You going to sound like Big Q up here? Yeah, he would sound like Big Q because he knows it's a bunch of BS. And that is outside. He a football coach. And that's what Coach Payton is. He's a football coach. He ain't a bureaucrat. And that's what get in the way of the game, the bureaucracy, the bull crap that goes along around the game, that impacts the game, that puts a negative spin on the game. It's shameful. But at the end of the day, man, and I give a big shout out to Triplet, because Triplet put it down. He showed the statistics. He showed what we've been saying, and we've been documenting it on the Sports Coma for years. We've been talking about them, how they've been doing the Saints, how the referees come down here, and I kept saying, fam, you got to beat the referees too. Referees come down here and penalize the Saints, and they building more than they penalize the other people. You got the Carolina Panthers team that was in here, and they got 2 penalties in the dome. For real, bro? And they were holding their ass off. Guy had Cam Jordan around the neck like he was trying to tear his head off, and the referee looking up there don't see nothing. Integrity? What? Integrity? Oh no, sir. No, you don't. Y'all a bunch of WWE referees. That's what y'all are. Y'all are a joke. And until you start calling these games without agenda, probably they'll never not call them without an agenda. But people got to get up there and they got to call them out. That's how you change all of this. You got to call them. You can't sit there and close your eyes and say, I don't see nothing because it's benefiting my team. That's fake to do that. If it's a narrative that is not what it's supposed to be, because it's sold to you like it's supposed to be football. It's not supposed to be narratives based around football. It's supposed to be the best team win. I don't care who it is. It's supposed to be the best team win, not narratives of getting people there because you want to see such and you're gonna maximize. Don't be surprised if the Rams sit up in the Super Bowl because they got that big ass stadium out there and they won't give them some money. So I'm just saying. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the family members in this one. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all for chiming in on this episode of the show. I was supposed to only talk to y'all for 40 minutes. And of course, we had some hot button topics on this Hot Monday show that we had to cover. So we had to we recapped the Coach Payton stuff, which is absolutely ridiculous, man. Never seen something as trifling as what I've been seeing. These trifling people coming up with these articles. That man never said nothing. That man's on a vacation with his wife and his people, and he's chilling. He turned the phone off. There's nothing wrong with that. People do that all the time. Why would you be questioning him if he's coming back? He's on vacation. Sometimes people extend that vacation. It's commonsensical. There is no reason for you to even put that out there. And when Coach Payton come back, he gonna set the story straight. There is no reason for you to even write stories, and then you know it's a plan for them to get at you because they got the Bears, the Cowboys, and the news networks trying to hire them coming out in the same window of time as them talking about this. And we ain't thinking it's something. It's all orchestrated, man. It's a bunch of BS, and they need to be ashamed of themselves. But you're gonna just keep spawning more big Qs. Keep it coming. We're going to keep batting your bullshit down because that's some crap. And then, of course, we talked about Eli Apple dealing with concussion issues and steroid abuse to the point where he can't differentiate. See, the problem is with a lot of these guys is it doesn't happen before. When we seen guys and players come here and they stink. All right, Eli Apple never got it. He didn't get it. He stunk. Eli, you stunk. You stunk. Okay, you stunk. Okay, that was 2 teams ago that you was a Saint person, bro. You stunk. We gave you an opportunity when nobody else will. But it is what you is, bro. But you might be talking about you ain't eating no swine, and you got a picture of Brother Malcolm X up on your Twitter. But I tell you what, I know you probably you got to be stupid as hell. I know what you eating that GMO. You eating GMO like a dog, man. Got you stupid as hell. The city is dirty and the food is bad. Man, get your ass out of here. You wait all that time to leave. Why you ain't say it when you was at Carolina, huh? Why you ain't say it when you was at Carolina? See, this is just all window dressing. For this man mentally ill, bro, don't worry about him, bro. It's too many concussions. And of course, we finally, with the ESPN article, talking about how the Saints are at the bottom of the last several years. They're at the bottom of the league in terms of their opponents getting penalties called against them. Last several years, let me say it again, the ESPN article astutely covers the facts that the Saints opponents get the Saints get the fewest, the opponents get the fewest calls, which shouldn't surprise you. Shouldn't surprise you that that's happening, man. And like we said, they send you different referees every game, which goes to show you that if that's happening, that's systemic. That's being pointed to do that, to stop you. I've talked about that ad nauseum. And one of the and they're going to keep it up. And I showed you with that referee in that Tennessee game. See, they can't get around that. They even try to cut the tape right when the referee's face. You can see it. They know what they're doing. They slice the tape to cut it off because the ones you can watch now, they cut it right off where you can see the referee in the Tennessee Titan game now, looking at Marcus Williams to see what he going to do in that end zone. Versus if it was a hit on Tannehill, the flag should have came out right away. Tannehill was on the floor for seconds. And he looked at Tannehill, then looked away from Tannehill and looked downfield to see what Marcus Williams was going to do. When Marcus Williams picked that ball off in that end zone, that flag came out roughing the passer. And then that same drive, they had another BS call that helped Tennessee getting into the end zone. So don't talk to me about referees and them being fair and consistent. You are a damn lie. And you lose all credibility when you talk about referees being consistent. Oh, they got a tough job to do, Q. They don't got no tough job. They getting talked to get made the calls. They used to lie about that. Now they just admit it because people kept, like myself, kept busting them down and saying, who that dude sitting his ass up there talking to on that mic that he's supposed to be watching that replay? Who is he talking to on there? It's supposed to be just him watching. And if you need to listen to the sound for whistles and why you got an appendage, a mic on that ear set and you just talking. Who you talking to? The people to tell them what calls to make. Them dudes making very few calls out there, and a lot of them being told. I'm telling you, it is very controlled and it's underhand. Coach Payton got off that committee. I'm telling you, he know a lot more than what he hitting on. Smallville says time for Goodell. He ain't going nowhere, bro. For Goodell to go. Remember, the Saints owners voted against him for the commissioner's job, and Kraft was the reason he got the job. It was Jerry Jones and Tom Benson, rest in peace, was one of the people that voted against Goodell. But the NFL is so greedy, they're so ungodly, that they will not get rid of a commissioner that the people hate. I mean, you go up there when the draft is, Lions, Dolphins, Cardinals, Giants, Jets, 49ers, Seahawks, all these Texans, it don't matter who it is, they're booing him. They hate the commissioner. They hate Goodell. But the NFL is not going to get rid of Goodell because he makes some money. They'll put Goodell's money making over your hatred, even though you are the spine that makes the league go because of your dollars and your contributions. That just goes to show you how pathetic they are as a group. Just keeping it real. Because if you got somebody out, and it's a public relations business, that if you got somebody that people don't like, it's like what happened with Papa John's when he said all that foolishness. Did Papa John's pizza do when he said all that stuff? Well, what happened after that? He disappeared, almost like he jumped through a portal somewhere and disappeared somewhere. But remember what happened. Then you seen Shaquille O'Neal pop up there. They gave Shaquille some of the pizza. You just forgot all about Papa John, even though it bears his name. Shaquille, see, that was a little public relation. They gave Shaquille a bunch of money. He jumped up in that thing. He got ownership in Papa John's. Then you start seeing Shaq. You didn't see Papa John's, and he was the dude making all of the commercials and all that kind of stuff. But he done disappeared, huh? See, it's public relations, and that's how they do it. But they don't even have sense to get rid of Goodell, even though all the people hate Roger Goodell. They really do. The Who Dat Nation hates Roger Goodell with just cause. He sucks. He stinks. He's terrible. The whole handling of the Saints and the Rams in a NFC Championship game was pathetic. It caused the heavy-handedness when your players have issues. He lays out the extra penalties on you. It's just, it goes on and on and on. But anyway, yeah, they're not going to get rid of that piece of garbage, man. He's a piece of trash and a piece of garbage, man. Just like his funky referees are. But anyway, that'll do it for me. And before I go into it, because I'll be sitting up here for a whole nother hour bashing that damn dude head and talking about how pathetic he is. Anyway, that'll do it for me. Listen, I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Hit the like button if you hadn't hit the like button. Relax, family. Coach Payton is not going anywhere. Coach Payton had not said that he was going nowhere. This is all fanciful nonsense. They're always trying to mess with the city of New Orleans. They do the same thing with the Pelicans. Anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Hit the like button if you're not a subscriber. Thank you, Smallville and the rest of the family members for your super chat. Lane, thank you for subscribing. Much love to Lane. Appreciate you. True King 965, much love to you, fam. JDE as well. Thank you for subscribing as well. And all the family members, Vincent Gregory, and all the rest of the fam, all the new family members that joined. We appreciate you guys. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. I'm going to be on Patreon Tuesday tomorrow. We'll talk about this again. We'll talk intricate more on it. So much love to the family members. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Who that to you?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that
whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.